Alright, so today I'm going to be doing 3-layer compression wrapping here on Nick. Now I could do this first part before he comes in the room or while I'm collecting some subjective information. But the first step is to prepare the field, including the different layers of wrap. So first I'll take this chuck, and while not touching the insides of it and just the edges, I'll spread it out here. Okay. And then I'd grab the different layers of wrap. Now these already have the packaging removed. I'd be careful not to touch them while I was taking them out. And I put them in the center of the chucks, 3 different layers. And then next I take a couple pieces of tape off for securing the bands afterwards. Next, I'd sanitize my hands or wash them, or both. And then put on gloves. All right, Nick, so since you came in last, how was your wrap after you wrapped it up last time?
Worked good, I think.
Was the pressure fine? And
yeah.
Did you have any sort of extra pain that you weren't used to, or any change in color in your toes?
No, they looked good.
They look fine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So basically how this is going to work is we're going to be using 3 different layers here. The reason that we want to wrap this, again, and keep it wrapped up as your wound continues to heal, is that, without it, your leg basically has too much fluid in it, in between the cells. And that can inhibit circulation, it can inhibit healing, and it could potentially lead to another wound forming or something like that. So we want this to heal as quickly as possible, and part of that is going to be getting a lot of that, the fluid out of there. So we're going to wrap it with higher pressure, and then as we go up lower and lower to kind of push it back up and push it back into the bloodstream or other vessels where it can turn to your circulation and to your heart and everything else. So the first step here is going to be using this. All right. So you can keep your leg right there. You can raise it up, whatever works for you. Yeah, I'm going to ask that you kind of keep your leg or your foot kind of up like this. Bring your toes up towards your shin a bit. We're going to start off with a cotton wrap. And with the cotton wrap, you started at the toes here. And for this one, you're not really putting much pressure on as you go up. This is mostly just a protective layer for as we get into the other layers of the wrap. And as far as height, you should be shooting to kind of reach up to the tibial tubercle. This is a huge roll. Secure that. All right, the next layer is the ace bandage. Okay. So again, you're starting down at the toes with a moderate amount of pressure here. So you want to put some stretch as you wrap it around. As you get to the ankle, it can be kind of, looks like I missed a little spot there with the cotton wrap. Maybe I'll cover that up there. So a little bit looser over the ankle. And then once you get to the level of kind of the malleoli, you're going to start applying more pressure and wrapping in a figure 8 pattern. and as you go up, slowly decrease the amount of pressure. All right. Pretty close to the tibial tubercle. Okay. Good. And then the last layer is a Coban. This is mostly just here to hold everything in place and also kind of give it a little bit of rigidity and a little bit of a wall to the pressure wrapping. So pull this up maybe a little bit further so let's get closer to that tibial tubercle. Okay. So this one isn't so much for compression, it's mostly just to hold things in place. So as you take it off, you don't want to put too much stretch on there or else you're kind of defeating the purpose of it. So again, you're going to start at the toes and just wrap in a spiral pattern. Wrap this up, just wrap it super tight. And again, as you go through, you want to be careful not to put too much stretch on it. Wow. I mean, this is impressive, the amount of time they put into this to wrap this back up.
Just cut it.
Huh?
Just rip it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, we'll call that good right there. There's a little bit of slack, but we could keep going on that. We tape that in place. So how does that feel there, Nick, this wrapping compared to last time?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Okay. You want to get up and kind of walk around and see how it feels?
Sure.
Does it feel like it's restricting your movement at all?
No.
Okay, you have a seat. So until I see you next time, some things to look for would be any new pain in your leg, whether it's radiating up or down in your leg, numbness, tingling, if you've ever had an arm or leg go to sleep, any types of those symptoms as well. Also look for color changes if your toes begin to turn blue or look like they're not getting enough blood flow. Keep an eye on that. And if any of that happens, or if you just feel it's too tight, it's really uncomfortable, the first step would be to take off the top layer that I just put on painstakingly. And if that doesn't help, that can remove some of the pressure. If that doesn't help, you can just take the whole thing off, all 3 layers. Leave the dressing intact over the wound. Don't take that off. And that should work out well. If you feel comfortable, or if somebody feels comfortable rewrapping it with just the ACE wrap and leaving this off the top, you can go ahead and do that. Else you can use some sort of pressure stockings if you have some of those. If we've discussed that in the past, you can do that as well. But if nothing else, you can always just call and we see if we can get you in early or somehow get that wrapped up. So last step would be to take off gloves and sanitize the hands again, and then clean up all the field and throw it away. All right.